The word for seeing in Arabic is shayif. Seeing is shayif.
شايف.
What are the roots here? That's the first thing we want to do. Our first habit is to check out what are the roots.
شايف.
Sh, y, f.
شايف.
Good. So it's good to mention that sh is one sound, even though we write it like two letters in English. Sh, y, f. There we have the root for seeing. I don't know if you ever heard in English, and I think it's quite regional British slang, but I don't know if you've ever heard take a shufti. Have you ever heard that?
No, I haven't.
No, I think it's an army slang. Some slang, of course, comes in from the army. No, so to take a shufti in English means to take a look. And shufti is actually yusuf, female, past tense. So it just kind of came in to mean a look. And we can see the connection between this shufti and shayif.
شايف.
So how do you say I see or I'm seeing?
أنا شايف.
Ana shayif. Good. Now in Arabic, when you're writing Arabic, you write long vowels, and you don't write short vowels. Now we've already seen an example of a long vowel and a short vowel. For example, Kareem. Can you tell me which is the short vowel and which is the long vowel?
The A must be the short one and the Eem must be the long vowel.
Exactly, Kareem. So when we're writing Arabic, we write K-R-E-M, Kareem. So that A is not actually written. Bit like text messaging. When you send a text message in English and you write TXT instead of text. This is what Arabic is doing. And actually, all of the scripts that come from this phonetic Phoenician root, Russian, Greek, the Latin script that we use in English, Arabic, they're all from the same root. And none of them actually used to write these short vowels. We adapted them afterwards from other letters. O, for example, it was adapted from W. And then you can look at the Greek script, for example, and you can see in the Greek script you have this shape that looks like a W, which is pronounced like an O. And then you can look at the Arabic script and you can see that the same letter makes W and the long O sound. So you can find all of these connections between them. Now, the reason why you don't write this short vowel may be because, for one part, it's so common that the sound of that short vowel changes between dialect or even speaker, but mostly because when you're speaking, that short vowel can undergo some change. It can fall away if it needs to. It can change because of another sound that's next to it. So that might be why they were never written. So if we go back to seeing, what was seeing?
شايف.
Shayif. Which is the long vowel and which is the short vowel here? We have a long one and a short one here.
The short one would be A and the long one would be E.
Say the word again.
شايف.
What comes first, the long or the short?
Maybe the first one is the long one.
Shayif.
شايف. Yeah.
And you can feel the emphasis on there as well. The accent is on there. You're not saying shayif. You're saying shayif.
Right.
You see there we have the long A, shayif, and then you have that little E, little I, which is not written, shayif.
شايف.
Now give me I see or I'm seeing.
أنا شايف.
And a shayif. Now try to make that feminine.
أنا شايفة.
It's a bit tough, right?
Yeah. شايفة.
Again, good. Keep going. It's happening naturally what has to happen.
أنا شايفة.
Good. That little I, which is vulnerable to disappearing or changing, just disappears, and the feminine there is أنا شايفة.
أنا شايفة.
Good. But a long vowel would not disappear. So what again was that name that means generous?
Kareem.
Kareem. So Eem is a long vowel there. What happened when we put that into feminine?
Karima.
Karima. Got a bit shorter. That's natural, very natural thing, just because it's kind of tough to say Karima, no?
But it did not disappear.
It didn't disappear and it will never disappear. These changes are really important to get our head around because the dialects that are spoken and not written have a lot of freedom always to strive towards efficiency. And that's what that does. Ana shayif, ana shayfa. Much more efficient than shayfa. The word for going is rayeh. Rayeh.
رايح.
Good. Very well pronounced. Let me just talk a little bit about that H that we have on the end there. Rayeh. Now, it might sound like a very alien sound to an English speaker, not because the sound is unfamiliar, but because of the position. We actually have this sound in English. Like, for example, in the name Harry, it's with the same raya. No? So this sound exists in English, but we don't have it at the end of the word. So that's why it might seem a little bit overwhelming there, but it's not. It's a sound we have already. And if you want to practice it in isolation, you can imagine cleaning your glasses. No? Exactly.
Right.
When you clean your glasses, you make a with your throat open, without the friction. Many people at home might find themselves hearing and reproducing a instead of but that's a different sound in Arabic, and it's a sound that might stand out quite a bit in Arabic, so we might generalize that, but that's not that sound. This sound is the same sound as we have in Hari, Rayeh.
رايح.
Do it in isolation first. You're breathing on your glasses.
No. Ha.
Really imagine the glasses. This will really help. You see?
Yeah. رايح.
Perfect. So, I'm going.
أنا رايح.
And a rayeh. So now we have a rayeh for going. Can you identify for me what are the root sounds? What are the three consonant sounds here that have something to do with going?
را يا ها.
Very good. Ra, ya, ha. How did you say I'm seeing?
أنا شرفة. I forgot.
So go to the roots. The roots will help you remember. So what were the roots?
شايف. أنا شايف.
And a shayif. And for feminine, it became
أنا شايفة.
shayfa. So you can use that actually as a model, as a template to generalize with. So if you have a word that has a similar pattern, like shayif, rayeh, they don't sound very similar. But if you're looking from the Arabic perspective of patterns, you can see actually they have the same pattern. Rayeh, shayif. No?
Mm-hmm.
So just as shayif became shayfa, rayeh would become
رايحة.
good. So for feminine, I'm going, it is
أنا رايحة.
and rayha. Good. So let's make a quick recap of what we learned.
Sure.
We have coming. What is coming?
جاي.
Gay. Very well done pronouncing those two Y's. Actually, this probably was gay, like rayeh, shayif originally, and that E probably just got lost even before adding the A, just because to have a Y, gay would be very difficult. So gay for coming. Then for seeing, we had
شايف.
shayif, good. And going,
رايح.
rayeh, good, very good. So how would you say I'm coming?
أنا جاي.
Good. And feminine?
أنا جاية.
Good. I'm going?
أنا رايح.
Good. And for feminine?
أنا رايحة.
Very good. I see or I'm seeing?
أنا شايف.
Very good. And if you're female?
أنا شايفة.
Very good. أنا جاي, أنا جاية. أنا رايح, أنا رايحة. أنا شايف, أنا شايفة.